Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2024 Shelly Sharpe Memorial presented by Spinners on the Green. Got a great show for you here today. We're at the Vista del Camino XL layout. Got Andrew Marwede, Gossage, the Goose, Anthony Barela, along with Drew Gibson, and I'm joined by special guest Parke Welck. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. I'm really excited to make my commentary debut. And let's get right into it. Hole 1, 284 feet. All there is to it is kind of getting through this triple mando, and there is some OB to worry about behind it. But as long as you make that mando, you should be getting 3 or better.
All right. Parker did let me know that when you win the Big Arm Challenge, you have to come in and make commentary debuts. So after doing that just a month or so ago, here we are. And we've got last year's champion, Andrew Marwede, getting things started. What do you think of the backhand as we're seeing, one forehand, one backhand right off the bat? Is there something that you prefer?
So there is no really benefit to doing either. If you throw the backhand, there is that OB out left, but it's whatever you really want to hit the gap with, whatever you're comfortable throwing.
AB slides up inside circle's edge. Often seeing, mids and putters off the tee here?
Mids and putters, unless you're going forehand, then you want to throw a little bit faster disc to kind of get it into that hill. Here's Drew just laying up his par. He'll tap that in.
Yeah, and when you see over on that left side, it's kind of you're forced to do that. You're not given too much of a ceiling, so to speak. Bid bar by Marwede. Not quite the right height. Here's AB from, looks like almost 42 feet.
Dead center. Nothing but net. Great putt there from Anthony.
Well, if there's any first hole jitters, it seems like he's addressed them.
Oh, no.
Yeah, what might be one of the first times I've seen Marwede miss inside the circle. I mean, he's just automatic. Usually leading the Disc Golf Pro Tour or one of the top 2 or 3 putters from circle 1. So I think the entire world is shocked by this. Nothing too crazy here to get us started. Gibson's going to walk away with the par, and Marwede digging himself a little bit of a hole. We head over to hole number 2.
Now, hole 2, you have 2 options. You can go with that big hyzer backhand, or you can do kind of a tighter flex forehand. Typically, players just want to try and get yourself any sort of look at the basket for birdie.
And when you're looking at those 2 options, what are you thinking about in terms of the ground play? Maybe even specifically this weekend, how's the ground looking and feeling?
It's pretty fast, actually. If you're wanting to stay next to the basket, you want to throw slightly less base grip plastic, so it sticks to the ground better. Goss going with forehand here. Looks like it kind of slipped out maybe. Maybe he didn't flex it enough, but up on the right, he might give himself a look.
No surprise to see AB also going forehand. And it's all about getting past those 2 trees on the right because, again, you're going to be limited by the alley or the ceiling or whatever the case might be. So that'll give AB a look.
Drew electing to go with the big spike hyzer over everything. Oh, flashing chains even.
Very quite a ways past the basket, as you said. Kind of fast up there. Here's Marwede.
Now, something I learned about Marwede's forehand is he only throws them with 1 finger. And I did not know that previously.
And what do you think of that style or method?
I mean, I definitely don't teach that. But if it works for him, he has the results for it. So good on him.
And that's part of the problem off on this right side. Those trees come into play. Barela does have a look here.
Holds it a little bit off to the side. He looks a bit disappointed there.
That was a step or 2 inside of where he made the previous putt from. Now Drew He's way out in circle 2, actually, from going past the pin.
Great putt there. Looking solid, dead center. No jitters there.
Immediately, Marwede looking to negate the bogey he picked up on the first hole. He's got close to the pin here. Conditions pretty calm and quite comfortable out here today. Friday afternoon, Phoenix, Arizona.
Not a lot of wind, and the temperature was pretty much perfect. It was nice and warm for us. As you see, we're all in pretty much shorts and a t-shirt. Nice out for wintertime.
AB full routine. Gets that one to drop without a problem.
Aaron taking his time. He's been working on his putt a lot lately, actually, and I think it's showing so far. Keeping it smooth. Doing his routine, even from close range.
What are we trying to do on 3?
Hole 3. We're going to either throw a backhand, forehand sort of deal. Any dealer's choice here. You just want to get it close to the basket. There is a tree on the right side. That's kind of the danger tree. You want to avoid that, because if you're behind that on the right, there's not really a putt.
You don't see players go directly deep of the pin on this one too often. You may be wide right or left, but not often are you deep. Drew kind of goes with like that mid-height hyzer and puts him inside the circle.
I think players are electing to throw slower speeds here. If they're throwing forehand, they're either going over that tree on the left, I think is AB's play. But for the most part, I see a lot of people just going up the middle, nice and soft. Land short of that big old tree. And Marwede playing it to perfection.
And we're just 3 holes in, so yes, I'll clarify. Players tee off to the right or left of some of the tees. As you can see, there's a little white whisker here, and that means that the players are allowed to go up to where that whisker is located. Now, AB is going to actually use the tee, but some of these tees can get a little slick, even in perfectly dry conditions. So I'll throw out that disclaimer now, since usually the comment section is flooded with that question, as AB looks a little light on the backhand.
Out left with the step putt. I feel like he's been pretty solid with that lately. During the off season, I think a lot of people kind of take some time off really from disc golf, and first tournament back, there might be some jitters even for the top pros.
Yeah, we see that he's had 3 looks from outside of the circle so far. Drew coming off the big putt on 2. This one 25 feet or so. It's certainly of note, Drew hasn't played a tournament in 7 months. He has been injured last year, and then, you know, we've seen him quite a bit on social media and YouTube and vlogging and whatnot as he picks up the birdie there. But so he's been somewhat active in terms of disc golf these last few months, but this is his first tournament in 7 months.
And I don't know if you guys noticed, his putt looks a little bit more floaty. It looks like he's has like a higher release point. I think that's helping him kind of get the disc out a little cleaner. But obviously we're still working on it.
And you saw Andrew kind of bend over, and the way he's going to even retrieve his disc here. It was noted that he had some form of back spasm or something, I believe just yesterday, the day before the tournament. So we're seeing a few of his motions somewhat, we'll say, not quite as smooth, as it appears that his back is hurting him at the moment. So we're going to keep an eye on that as we head over to hole number 4.
And hole number 4, you see a lot of players just throw that backhand big hyzer around this huge tree in the middle. There is some OB to worry about, going too far left or too deep. But for the most part, it's just kind of a soft hyzer. Skip it up there, and pretty much anywhere you're taking a putt for 2 here.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but it feels like you'd need quite a pull to get all the way out and around the tree. I mean, if this is 380 and you're going out around that that big green pine, you're talking what, a 450-foot pole or no?
I would think it's just a little bit less than that, actually. There's a lot of ground play that can happen as well. So
Okay.
even if you throw it too low, it's still going to get that ground play.
Drew's going to be at circle's edge, where it looks like he's been somewhat comfortable. See him grabbing his lower back, and that actually is up and over the fence and in the backyard, so he's going to be out of bounds. Way out of sorts there for Marwede.
Aaron with the body language trying to get it back left.
Oh, and he gets hung up by the back tree instead. But no problem clearing the front one, but the back one catches him up. He's going to be pinched off. Let's see if AB has just the right angle and speed.
Does it to perfection. That should be a birdie, no problem for Anthony.
When you think about out of bounds, often on this hole you think about going deep or maybe sawing it off and going off to the left side, but Marwede, the neighbor's yard now, not much of a look here for Gossage.
And almost puts it in. A lot of trees in the way for him there. Straddle putt's kind of the only option for him. Drew's looking good so far.
I was just going to say, that doesn't look like a putt or a guy that's been away from the game for 7 months. Solid putting. Gibson moves to 3 under, getting the turkey in the last 3 holes. See Marwede again, just kind of the way he's bending over to mark his disc. For bogey after the OB, and that one falls in for him. So not used to seeing Marwede pick up too many bogeys, and he already has 2 in the first 4 holes.
Aaron, no problem for his comeback par. Still doing his routine, even from close. Anthony says, I'll just tap this in.
I'll move over to hole number 5. Big shout out to our friends at Duke's Sports Bar and Grill.
And hole number 5, it's a quad mando, which you really see a lot of players doing, is kind of laying up to the second mando's mouth and hopefully getting a look for birdie. But I think the most common score here is going to be a par, just a layup, tap in for your 3.
We'll take a look at our friends over at the PDGA. Of course, all scoring being done on the PDGA's app. And we see how hole 5 played out. I'll give you some of those. But first, we'll see, does Gibson get aggressive? Oh, that's going to come up short, just short of the double mando there, the final double mando.
Ooh, that's got to sit.
Checks up short of the mando. I don't know if it's going to give him much of a look.
It gets tricky.
Yeah, you really have to worry about where you get pinched off over there, right?
Absolutely. So you see a lot of players just doing the forehand roller just through the trees, or even I saw some players go over the top. Beautiful shot by Andrew. That should give him a look for birdie.
This played as the 6th most difficult hole. Not a whole lot of birdies. And you can see there when you're off on this left side, obviously you have to play to the mando, and then you really don't have a ceiling, so to speak, to play with. Drew is perfectly split the trees.
Almost. This is a great hole to get. It's definitely one of those extra holes for birdie.
And you called it when you're got that weird angle to the tree. Barela doesn't even get that up as high as the basket at any point. That's just pitching it around and walk away with par.
Now Marwede, let's see if he can take advantage of this. Great drive. And he does. Great putt. Oh, looks like the card's noticing Andrew's kind of slow.
Yeah, and it almost looks painful just watching him do that, you know. He's been so athletic and seemingly had no problems over these last couple of years, but tough to see that here in the early goings. Clean up for Gossage. Marwede was only the 5th birdie of the entire division. So only 4 other guys in addition to him walking away with a birdie here. So like you said, somewhat of a bonus. You got to wonder come final round, is that when you think, hey, I need to be more aggressive. I need a birdie here. I'm going to go after, you know, that last set of Mandos as we head over to hole 6, one of the longer ones out here.
Yeah, we have our option of either doing a giant hyzer, or you can kind of do a big turnover or a forehand hyzer. So it's kind of dealer's choice off the tee. You really just need to work on that second shot, getting it close to the pin. There is out of bounds everywhere, left, right, long. There is a wall to kind of save some rollaways, but for the most part, you just want to get it close. Are we trying the turnover line? Looks a little short into the tree. Dropping him down. That's going to be tough to get up and down from there.
Yeah, nearly 800 feet. You need almost a perfect tee shot, then still followed up by a pretty solid second shot here to put yourself in position. You called it. Big hyzer.
And that looks like a perfect place. Although Drew does not have a lot of forehand. You don't see him throw a lot of forehands, and he's in the perfect place for a forehand thrower. So we'll see what he does. And Anthony throwing 20%, 500 feet.
I was just gonna say it doesn't even look fair how far that forehand is about to go and how effortless he is with it.
Goss, also known for his forehand power. I'm interested to see who goes first on their second shot. See who got it further out there. Whoa, some pause to think about what we're doing. Okay, we can definitely see there's something going on there. Definitely slowing down.
Marwede had the hot score to open the tournament last year. Came in with a 10 under on his opening round. Wow, flirting with that right side, but getting the skip and the ground play. Maybe not the the route you would have taken, but it looks like it works out for Gibson.
Asking for it to sit. Let's see if it checks up, and looks like it does. The wall looks like it saves him there.
So there's your answer. We saw that Gossage had to go before Barela. Wait, is this a putter?
I think that's his Luna that he loves throwing.
I mean,
That's crazy throwing a putter on the second shot there.
Marwede doesn't even look like he cares where the disc goes. He does throw a really good shot, but that seems to be not the priority or the concern. But Gossage
Floats one in there. Looked like it had some wind or something messing with his putt there, but great putt there. Yeah, you can see the trees kind of shaking up there in the top left.
I was thinking about how this hole was so challenging. It used to play as one of the more difficult holes out here on the course. And in the last few years, I've really been watching players dial it in. It's no longer, you know, somewhat of a daunting hole that they actually dread. Saw the birdie a moment ago there by Gossage. Squeaking it in. Not a problem there for Gibson as well. And yes, Anthony deep after the putter approach.
That's the way to play the hole.
Yeah, I again started thinking about just the stats and how our players are constantly elevating the game, and 800-foot par 4 with OB on left and right doesn't seem to be an issue. Now they're going to have a very lengthy walk to get over to the other side. All part of the Vista XL layout. Big shout out to our friends over at Dietrich Creative Design. All the information is on their website, which is linked below. They're also great for all your disc golf design and equipment needs. Again, make sure you check them out.
And hole number 7, there's kind of a low ceiling off the tee. You either want to go a big sky Anheuser or keep it really low underneath the low ceiling and get it up there. There is an island green, so you have to make sure you land it in the green. Otherwise, stroke penalty.
That was something that we saw introduced last year at this event in terms of playing it this way.
And it makes it much more difficult.
Rush by Gibson. Like perfectly placed, big distance, a little bit of everything there.
It's like he almost fell over when he threw that too. This is what you really don't want to do unless you got really far. Oh, no. Out of bounds. That left side is scary just because of all the trees, and it forces you to throw low, but you got to throw it high to get it over the wall on the island. And Aaron, this shot is just built for his throwing style.
Low, power with a skip. Yeah, I agree. That line drive approach.
Marwede up first. Let's see if he goes for the island.
Once you cross the sidewalk, everything past that is out of bounds except for being on the actual island. And he sticks the landing.
Wow, that is a great shot from there.
Makes it look easy. The Barela still has to worry about the Mando tree. Goes around it to the right and also sticks it on the island.
That's what he needed to do. Aaron looks cut off as well. He's going high in the sky. Let's see if it works. Just short on the wall. So now Aaron has to go to the drop zone, which is kind of like almost a lengthy putt, more of like an upshot approach. See what he decides to do.
Gibson takes advantage of his huge drive, and you can see right there actually in the right side of your frame is where the whiskers are here for the drop zone. So Gibson almost drove it all the way to the drop zone.
That zone he throws, it feels like it's made out of eraser material. It just grips the ground. Whatever it touches, it just grips. It's a very cool disc that Aaron's throwing.
Well, he may not be able to retrieve his disc, and he may be struggling mightily, but it doesn't appear that the putting is the problem. Or maybe he's in excruciating pain, but fighting through it to still pick up another birdie. Oh, Barela has a chance at birdie. Looks like a pretty confident putting stroke.
Yeah, he's looking good out there for everything, really. He looks confident with his throws, his approaches, his putting. Let's see if he can keep it up. Now Drew with his very short approach shot into the green. He's got to take advantage of this. And he does. Now there were some people pitching. That's what he was looking at. There's a father-son maybe doing some batting practice or pitching practice right behind the basket there.
Going to make a trek up to the top here of hole number 8, one of the most beautiful and iconic shots out here at Vista.
Absolutely. Every time someone comes into town and they're getting a video on this hole, that is for sure. But nothing really to it. You want to throw something nice and straight right down to the pin. And there is an elevated basket. So you really just have to worry about keeping it in play, and 3 at worst here.
Interesting enough, it looks like Gibson's going to line up the huge hyzer. That is not available to every thrower, right?
Absolutely not. That's why I did not even mention it in the whole breakdown there. Looks like he got it to about a circle's edge, though.
Yeah, try and take everything out of play, go way off to the right. On another hesitation here.
Has to do with pain. I think the last time I thought it was maybe like readjusting his line, but now I'm thinking it's all pain.
Oh, immediately turns away again. Circle's edge and safe, most importantly. Landed a few feet from where Marwede did. Doesn't appear to be a problem.
You really want to make sure you're landing safe on this hole. That drop zone is pushed back, I think, further than previous years. It's actually near that guy in the green shirt, yellow shirt, whatever you want to call it. So it's still a toss to get it over.
Impressing that we see 4 for 4, all on the green. Have a couple of looks for birdie. Marwede, circle's edge. And he hands the putt as he's retrieving. And it was just about at that moment, we've got a first light breaking news coming in from our friends over there that our reigning champ, Andrew Marwede, then walks off of the hole and says, I'm going to have to just withdraw. He's been in so much pain that even though we've watched him birdie the last 2 holes, he says he's done. He's not going to make the trek over to 9 even.
And I think that's the right decision. There's the whole year in front of him. So he definitely got to heal up. Don't take this too hard on himself, and get healed up and get ready for the season to start.
I'd have to dig into my record books of watching golf and playing for the last almost 30 years to see someone go birdie and then still walk off the course. Like that, just think about that a little bit. Someone's having a rough round. They're clearly in pain. They're struggling. Their score reflects that. And it's obvious to walk off. But to see a guy go birdie and be like, I'm out.
Possibly the first time ever. Normally the case is, you're taking a quadruple bogey and you're like, okay, I'm over this. I'll see you guys later.
Exactly. So, of course, we wish nothing but the best for Andrew and hope he heals up. And as you just said, it's there's a long season ahead. Let's pace ourselves. Big shout out to our friends at the Distinguished Doodle, located right here in Arizona. You can find them in the link in the description as well, as we're here for the hardest hole on the course.
Hole 9. Yeah, we have our hyzer fest is what I like to call it. Or you can go over the top. You can go forehand hyzer, backhand hyzer, or a big play over the top. And rumor has it, someone chained out for ace on this hole?
Could be right here.
Oh.
Rumors galore. Let's see it. I think one guy that could do it would be right here, Drew Gibson.
I'm just joking with you, Terry. It was me. I chained out for ace. And Drew, great shot. Anywhere looking for birdie on this hole is fantastic, but you have to throw pretty far to even get it over there. And Anthony pulling that over. Let's see if it comes back in bounds. On the rocks, pin high. That's a bomb.
Yeah, he's lucky that the water is down, because normally, just as where that spotter was, that's almost always going to have water and be out of bounds. So he has a little extra real estate to work with.
And it's scary throwing that power forehand, because a lot of the time you're flipping over and you're flirting with the water the entire flight of it. So one mistake and you're in the water.
Wow, Gibson's jumpers have looked so good. I need you to like, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube things, but also let me know in the comments for the giveaway that I always offer up. Have you ever had to withdraw from a tournament for any reason? If so, tell us what that was, as Gossage is just off the front as well, a little bit tentative. But let me know in the comments if you've ever had to withdraw from an event for any given reason. Wow, you called it. A little bit of a bonus there.
Absolutely. Great putt, great drive. Took advantage of that.
Always playing as the most difficult hole on the course. Mitchell Rainey and Anthony Barela, the only two in the division today to birdie it.
Wow. And if you're
But
wondering
if
about
you chained out
my
for
chain out,
ace, yeah, it must have rolled.
it rolled all the way back. It, kind of a bummer, but I have it on video. I'll post it up.
Oh, good. We'll look for that. All right, well, we're going to look for you guys in the back nine. Huge shout out here to Parke Welck making his commentary debut. Hope you guys are enjoying the action. Here's what you're seeing through the front nine. We'll see how they finish out round one. You're here for the 2024 Shelly Sharpe Memorial, presented by Spinners on the Green. Parker, we'll see you in the back.
Right on. We'll see you guys.